So welcome back to another 7.3 video. So this one is again 7.3.4 and it's the final path that I have left to do before I hit 100% exploration. So this one has a weird set of nodes, again involving the paradox charges. So for every buff that you gain a paradox charge, and the way for you to lose them is to end a combo with a light attack. Now the two other nodes to make it more interesting is that it has special delivery, so once every 15 hits you must throw a special attack or else you're going to degenerate, and until you have 3 paradox charges on you, the defender is actually unblockable. So I know for a few other people that spoke to me about this path before, they were having trouble, especially with Venom and his aggressive AI and starting the fight off. So I decided and thought it'd be relatively smart to bring in Odin's pre-fight and just have 2 charges straight off the bat there, and then hopefully that will just ramp up Doctor Doom ready for the actual path. I mess up quite a lot. I did forget that the final node on this is that when you have more than 3 charges and you parry, you actually gain quite a decent Fury buff. So there's going to be a few times on this path that I'm going to end up hitting the full paradox and taking the damage back, so that was the first time. And because I've ran out of the paradox now, Venom becomes unblockable again. So it's just a matter of getting back to the 3 charges, while still also wondering about the special delivery and everything else. I thought I was going to get it from here, and I finally then get it from the last hit of that special 1 dex there. So now I can just focus on trying to throw light attacks at the end of the combos and try and keep the charges down. But every time you parry, you gain a charge. Every time you dex, you gain 2 charges, because, well, you'll gain the second charge from then hitting them to remove the dexterity. So yeah, I brought in Doctor Doom as the main counter for a lot of these annoying champions like Vision Arcus. There's a Hyperion. The last other defender that I was bringing in was this Domino, and this Domino was mainly going to be for the skill champions that were on this path. So there's this Daredevil Hell's Kitchen here, there's also a Black Widow Deadly Origins, and there is a Nick Fury at the end. So I should have punished that heavy attack there, missed my opportunity, so now it's a bit more annoying. I've got to try and get an intercept, and the AI just wants to just sit there holding its block. Look, every so often they'll throw an attack in, but yeah, they're just quite keen to just dash back, hold block, dash back, hold block. We're all the way back into their corner now. They finally throw a heavy attack, and I make sure that I get my chance to actually do it this time. So now I'm at the 3 paradox charges, so I don't need to worry anymore. I can just I'm going to keep trying to bait special 1s and or special 2s where I need to. And in a minute you'll see here that my paradox will jump up again, because I've just got rid of that dexterity buff. I do get a nice crit bleed from Domino's special 1 here. And I was planning on taking advantage of that, because with the paradox charges you gain extra power rate. The plan was, okay, I could just throw a lot of special 1s and special 2s, and hopefully this Daredevil and the other skill champions will start to drop quite quickly because of the crit bleeds. So as you can see there's a nice crit bleed on Daredevil now. It's doing like 9k damage a second. Yeah, Domino can make these fights quick. The next variant's just been announced, so that content looks like it's going to be heavily based around mercenaries, and Domino just happens to be a mercenary, so I'd suggest for most people, if you don't already, get her ranked up ready for it. Here I'm just trying to get to as close to like 3 paradox charges as I can, ready for the next fight that I go into. And yeah, that's Daredevil done. Vision Arcus here, probably one of the worst fights on this path, just because of how annoying his power gain is, and even with Doctor Doom even, trying to power control it, and you're trying to watch too many things at once. You're trying to watch their power, watch your buffs, watch your paradox, watch how much attacks you've used for the special delivery, when all the paradox charges have gone. You're trying to watch if they're still unblockable. There's just so much stuff to try and keep an eye out on. And so pushing them into the doom cycle, you'll see here it kind of works, but then it kind of doesn't later on. So yeah, it does good damage. You can see there's a steady damage, and they're going to be stunned obviously after, so I can just go in with the normal combos. But I need to be constantly aware of the special delivery. I take some more paradox there. Forget that because I've lost all my paradox and everything else, that they're now unblockable. So I go to parry the attack, get smacked in the face, which, you know, is always nice. We always like to see that. And yeah, so you're just trying to watch everything still. It's still unblockable here. It's got a special 3 and nullify it. Heavy attack. Went to go for a special 1, ended up having a special 2. Went to try and then throw the special 1 to nullify it and steal some power from Vision Arcus, and sadly it didn't happen. So it got the special 3 and killed me. So yeah, it's one of them things. Somehow these node combinations can it makes or breaks you. So I decided to just use a revive here. There's no harm. I have them pretty much always in overflow, and if I don't, if I'm relatively low on them, I'll just go back to the latest variant, classic difficulty, and just farm a few more. And yeah, so I just go back into this Vision Arc, because I don't heal Doom all the way, because there's no point. Start with my paradoxes ready to go, and we can just try and finish this fight as soon as possible. I try to be good and keep with the light attacks only, and even now I'm trying to just be a bit smarter and to not trigger dexterity. So just take a few hits, don't parry, don't do anything, and still I managed to set off the paradox. So yeah, it's a weird one. So now that Vision Arcus is down, this now leads me on to Black Widow Deadly Origins. So this fight, as I said before, I'm just going to domino it and just try and smash her about with the specials to make sure that the damage and the bleed tick off and do as much as they can. So here, I can never remember at the start of the fight, because, and I do think it's something that Kabam could possibly have changed, is that it doesn't tell you how many crossfight charges from the paradox that you're on when you try to view the pre-fight screen at the start. I feel like if it told you, you'd be a lot better off in these situations, but I just decide that I'm not sure, don't want to take some unblockable hits, so I'll just dash back at first and see the exact situation that we're in. And yeah, as you can see here, we're doing some nice damage. Black Widow Deadly Origins is well and truly getting smacked about here. Unfortunately didn't get the critical bleed from that special 1, but that's fine. Try and push it to special 2 like I did in one of the recent war videos where I had to fight her on the Stunning Reflection mini boss. Special 2s are just much nicer to not concern yourself with, just because of the fact that she was not going to constantly try and evade and shock you or whatever just for attacking her after. It does clear a lot of the problems away, and you can, like here, you can do it all and not trigger dex once, so you don't need to worry about gaining any buffs or having the paradox hurting you in any way. Hyperion here. Yeah, this fight is just going to be, for the most part where I can, just the Doom cycle. spoiler alert, Doctor Doom does die again. I'm just very bad at controlling all the combos as well as everything else that's going off in these fights. There's just a lot going off, and you're trying to watch everything and do everything, and yeah, it just doesn't work. Especially if you're not paying attention, like in Alliance War and stuff like that. People will be well boosted. They're really focusing to make sure that they don't die or they don't cost themselves extra resources. But here, I'm of the opinion of, if I die in like a quest, it's okay. It doesn't hurt anybody else. It only hurts me. Whereas in the Alliance content, obviously there's 29 other people that suffer for my mistakes. So I decided not to heal Doctor Doom back up here. I'm just gonna throw Nick Fury at him instead. I'd no problem if he puts me into the second life. It'll just mean that my damage goes forward. So if he wants to sit there until he gets a special free, Hyperion's more than welcome to, and it's not very often that I'll ever say that. Because between Doctor Doom and Hyperion, I imagine that when this special free skip button gets released very soon, they're probably the two main champions that the skip the special free button will probably be used for. Okay, final fight here. So this is against this Nick Fury. So I decided to just start with my Nick. If he dies, he dies. There's no real danger to it. I don't really need them for any of the mini bosses, or sorry, the main bosses on this map. For me, these bosses have all been like Human Torched or Magicked, or a combination of a couple of Human Torches and Magic, just to try and get them down without using revives where possible. I know I've seen a couple of people do Doctor Strange with a Tigra, stuff like that. He throws a special one there at a really bad time that puts him then unblockable, and I then get hit in the face. So here, and then he goes unblockable again. I'm like, uh-oh. So I throw the special 2 here, get the stun, do a few attacks, but then take the paradox damage back from that, and that leaves Nick Fury then unblockable completely, and he's sat there with a special 1. And yeah, that's the end of the road for Nick. So a very short cameo for Nick Fury there, but he still did good enough service to what we needed. And coming into this Nick Fury fight now with Domino, so normally you'd always use a mutant anyway against the Nick Fury. A lot of people choose to use Omega Reds or Dominos or Archangels. I'd completely butcher throwing the special 2 there. I was trying to do like a light ending combo special 2, but they just reacted quick or I reacted slow. And yeah, luckily he didn't punish me too much coming out of it. But we're just trying to get him into the second phase now. So here you go, we're in the second phase. We've just got watching degen now. Not worry about it too much, just let him trickle the way down, but don't get too pinned into my own corner either. The AI is doing the weird thing where it tries to like 2-step you, and it'll kind of like tries to bait you in, like, oh, I'm coming for you, and you'll dash in, and then it'll backdraft and beat you up. So yeah, just take your time and things like that, but like I said, don't get too forced back. And yeah, pretty much this is how the fight's going to start to come to an end, and that's the end of this path. So that's 7.3.4 now, 100%. And yeah, only 2 quests left until 7.3 is fully done.